out, we look in. Come as you are.
Welcome to Get Hot Yoga Online. I am Heather, and I'll be guiding you through about 45-minute Vinyasa class focused on a lot of thoracic extension and spinal work today. So take everything at your own pace. If you do have a block or something around this size at home, we have a lot of half moon in our flow. And we will go ahead and get started. We're going to start in Supta Baddha Konasana. So come to your back, head towards the back of your mat, feet towards the front of your mat, and then bring your soles of the feet to touch, and knees will fall out to the side like a butterfly. And in these first few moments here, maybe play around with the positioning of your legs. Maybe it feels better to have your heels a little bit further away from your midline, or maybe draw them in towards your glutes to find more opening in the hips. Relaxing your shoulders down onto your space, and starting to draw some attention to your breath. Draw the big inhales through your nose, expanding the rib cage up towards the sky. And then maybe open mouth, exhale. One more big breath like that. Inhale. And let that go. Exhale. Starting to find some movement in the legs, bringing the right knee up and over towards the left, stacking the knees, taking this gentle twist. The right arm can go out to the side if that feels good. And then coming through center, knees up and over towards the right, left arm can go out to the side, maybe leaving the arms out like a T or cactus your arms. And then just continue this movement from side to side, pausing wherever it feels good, just finding movement in the spine and the hips. And next time your knees are over towards the left side of your space, just let them stay there. Finding that movement again from side to side, coming back through center, up and over towards the right. And then up and over towards the left. And next time your knees are over towards the right, just let them fall there, letting gravity pull them down. And then gently coming back through center, back to your Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet touch, knees fall out to the side. And using your hands to gently bring your knees to touch, planting the soles of your feet to the mat, moving into one round of bridge right here just to start to warm up our core and our glutes. Planting your feet to the mat and feet underneath your knees, hands down by your side. Take a big inhale, press through your heels and lift your hips up towards the sky. Maybe walking the shoulders underneath you. You can leave your hands out to the side, or if you want to interlace them underneath your spine and press your fists into the mat and squeeze through the glutes to lift your hips 1 inch higher. Take one more inhale, squeeze and lift. And then exhale gently, one vertebrae at a time, rolling your back down to your space, unraveling the arms, bringing the shoulders out from underneath you. Grabbing for the back of your thighs, start to bring your knees in towards your chest. Find some movement rocking the length of your mat a couple of times. And then when you're ready, you're crossing your ankles, planting your palms, making your way to a ragdoll in the center of your space, so about halfway up your mat. Feet hip width distance apart. Go ahead and hang heavy down over your thighs. Bend your knees here as much as you need to, finding some movement rocking from side to side, shifting the weight in the feet, testing out your balance, maybe shaking the head yes and no. You can grab for opposite elbows or just let the arms dangle down to the mat. And then gently releasing your hands down to your space, keeping the feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, find a halfway lift, bring your palms to your shins, engage your core, hug the belly in, lengthen the spine towards the top of your mat. Shift the weight forward into the balls of the feet, take one more inhale, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle, sweep your arms up and overhead, lengthen up towards the sky. And as you exhale, forward fold, dive down. Inhale, find a halfway lift. As you exhale, plant your palms just outside of your shoulders towards the top of your space and bring your knees down to the mat, keeping your toes tucked. Inhale, lift your hips, sweep your arms up towards the sky as you untuck your toes. As you exhale, release your hips down to your heels. Finding some half camel sweeps, right hand comes behind you. Inhale, press the hips towards the front of your mat. Rotate the left shoulder open. And then exhale, come through center. Inhale, up and over towards the left, reaching the right arm behind you. And then gently come through center. Inhale, lift the hips back up, sweep the arms high, tuck the toes under. As you exhale, hands to the mat, come back to your forward fold, lift the hips, fold down over your thighs. Moving through that one more time, inhale, find a halfway lift. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, lengthen up to the sky. And exhale, dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, bring your knees down to the mat, toes are tucked. Inhale, lift the hips, arms go high, untuck the toes. Exhale, release the hips down. Half camel sweep over towards the right, press the hips forward, sweep the left arm back. And then release through center, up and over towards the left. Release through center. Inhale, lift the hips up, arms go high, tuck the toes under. And exhale, plant the palms forward, fold, send the hips up. Inhale, take a halfway lift. And exhale, just forward fold. Go ahead and walk your hands out towards the top of your space. Come to your downward facing dog, stepping your feet towards the back of your mat. Go ahead and find some movement here, swaying the hips from side to side. Maybe you want to shift forward to a high plank a few times, starting to warm up the wrist and the core. And then once you've found that movement, just finding some stillness in your down dog. Bend your knees here as much as you need to, tilting the tailbone up towards the sky. Start to bring your hands out about shoulder width distance apart, and maybe bring the pointer fingers out towards the edges of your space to rotate the eye of the elbow forward. Take a big inhale here, and then open mouth exhale. Moving through a sun A to get our body moving. Inhale, gaze forward. As you exhale, hop, step, or float to the top of your mat, big toes and heels touch. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead, lengthen to the sky. And exhale, dive right back down. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, plant your palms, step back to a high plank. To modify your chaturanga, drop your knees down to the mat. We're gonna move through 3 chaturanga push-ups today. Exhale, lower halfway down to a hover, squeeze the elbows in nice and tight, engage your core. Press right back up, high plank. 2 more, exhale, lower halfway down. And press right back up. Last one, lower halfway down, hold and squeeze. Release to your baby cobra, or sweep it through to your upward facing dog. And then curl over your toes, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Moving through that one more time, inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, hop, step, or float to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale and release. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, lengthen to the sky. And exhale, dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, hop, step, or float to the back of your mat, moving through your chaturanga flow. You can either hold a high plank, skip the push-up altogether, just meeting in downward facing dog, finding your variation today. Inhale, start to lengthen the right leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, step it through low lunge. Releasing your left knee down to the mat, untuck your left toes. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky, finding your crescent moon. Bringing your right forearm to your right thigh. Start to inhale, open up the chest towards the left side of your space, rolling the left armpit up. As you exhale, rotate the left armpit down towards your right knee, still drawing the shoulders towards the back of the space. Inhale, rotate that left shoulder open, using the right forearm to find leverage. And exhale, rotate back down. One more, inhale, rotate open. And exhale, rotate down. Sweeping both arms up towards the sky, finding your crescent moon. Inhale, sink into the hips. And as you exhale, find a half split, send your hips to the back of the room and fold over your right thigh. Pulling your right hip towards the back of the room, rounding the left hip forward, press through the ball of the right foot to engage the quad. Start to bend back into the right leg, finding this low lunge. Left foot steps forward, feet hip width distance apart, hang heavy over your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, dive right back down, forward fold. Moving into a gorilla here, start to lift your feet up and slide your hands underneath the sole of your feet. Toes will be on your wrist. Give yourself a little massage here, wiggling your toes from side to side. If you're like, ew, that's gross, I don't want to touch my feet, you can always bend your knees as much as you need to and just relax the back of your hands on your mat and relax your head down towards your space. One more breath here, inhale. And as you exhale, gently release your hands from underneath your feet down to your mat. Halfway lift the spine. As you exhale, plant your palms, move through your flow. Everyone meeting in downward facing dog, sending the hips up towards the sky. Inhale, lift and lengthen, left leg goes high. As you exhale, step it through, low lunge. Releasing your right knee down to the mat, untuck your toes, rise on up to your crescent moon. Arms go up towards the sky. Bringing your left arm to your left thigh, start to rotate that right shoulder open towards the sky. And as you exhale, rotate the armpit down towards your left knee while still drawing the shoulders back. Inhale, rotate open. And exhale, rotate down. One more time through. Inhale, rotate open. Exhale, rotate the right armpit down and reach. Come back through center, both arms go up towards the sky, really sink into your hips. And then half splits, folding over your left thigh. On this side, you're dragging the left hip towards the back of the room and rotating the right hip forward. Press through the ball of the foot and flex the toes back towards your nose. Start to bend into the left leg. Right foot steps forward, feet hip width distance apart, hang heavy over your thighs. Find a halfway lift, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, lengthen through the side body. Exhale, forward fold. Almost fell over. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold, moving through a reverse gorilla here. So you're gonna flip your fingertips towards your toes. You can either keep your palms on the mat or lifting the feet up again and sliding the hands underneath the feet. The toes will be on the top of the hand on your wrist. And then find that movement here, wiggling the toes from side to side, maybe bending into the elbows a couple of times and stretching out the forearms. And then gently releasing your hands to the mat. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, hop, step, or float to the back of your space, move through your chaturanga flow. Beautiful, everyone meeting in downward facing dog. Starting to build onto our flow here. Inhale, gaze forward. As you exhale, hop, step, or float to the top of the mat. Feet can land wherever it feels comfortable for you. If you have your block, have it ready for you at the top of your space. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale to a one-legged mountain, ground down through the right foot and lift the left knee up as you sweep your arms up towards the sky. Squeeze the left quad, flex your left toes up towards your nose. Take an inhale, lift the knee 1 inch higher. As you exhale, kick the heels straight forward. Try to squeeze the quad and lift the leg. Bend into the knee 2 more times through that. Exhale, kick the left heel forward, squeeze. Inhale, bend into the knee. Last one, exhale, kick the heel forward, squeeze and hold right here. See if you can lift the toes up 1 inch higher. Then Dekasana airplane. Sweeping the left leg behind you, sweeping the arms back, pinkies in, thumbs out. Rotate the left hip down towards your space, scissoring the inner thighs in towards one another. Think up dog heart, lifting the chest up towards the sky. Then opening up to your half moon, right hand comes down to the block. Rotate your left hip open and reach the left arm up. Staying nice and solid in that right leg. See if you can reach up through the left fingertips, flex the left toes towards the side of your space. Take 1 more breath here. As you exhale, release your left foot to the back of the mat and find a fierce side lunge into the left thigh. So lunging into the left leg, reaching the arms out long like a T, hovering your chest down towards your space. 1 more breath here. Then find a crescent moon. Just release the left knee down to the mat, sweep the arms up towards the sky, sink into the right thigh. Take an inhale, reach up. As you exhale, right arm comes down, finding your exalted warrior here, reaching the right hand toward the back of the left thigh, left arm reaches up towards the back of the room. One more inhale, reach. As you exhale, twisted low lunge. Left hand comes down. Lift the left knee up as you reach the right arm up, twisting open towards the right side of your space. Moving into our wild thing, gently stepping the right foot behind your left thigh. Lower your hips down to a hover just for a moment, and then lift your hips up towards the sky as you reach your right arm towards the front of your space. One more inhale here. As you exhale, plant your right hand, move through your chaturanga flow, knees up or down, or just press back to downward facing dog. Take a big inhale through the nose, and then open mouth exhale. Moving into the other side, inhale, gaze forward. As you exhale, hop, step, or float to the top of your mat, feet land wherever it feels comfortable. Inhale, find that halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rise on up to your one-legged mountain, bringing the right leg with you this time, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Squeeze the right quad, lift the knee up 1 inch higher, take an inhale. Exhale, kick the right heel forward, squeeze. Inhale, bend into the knee. Exhale, kick the heel forward and squeeze. One more time, inhale, bend into the knee. Exhale, kick the heel forward, hold right here. See if you can lift the toes up 1 inch higher towards the ceiling. Then Dekasana airplane, sweep the right leg behind you. Arms sweep back like airplane wings, pinkies and thumbs out. Rotate that right hip down towards the mat. Squeeze the glute to lift the right heel higher. Then opening up to your half moon, left hand comes down to the block, reaching your right arm up towards the sky. Using your breath here, opening up that right hip up towards the ceiling, reach up through the right fingertips, take an inhale. Then as you exhale, gently releasing your right foot to the back of your space, moving into that fierce side lunge, bend into the right leg as you reach the arms out wide. Hovering the chest down towards your space, hug the belly in. And then finding your crescent moon, release the right knee down as you turn towards the front of the mat, sweep the arms high. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, exalt, left hand comes to the back of the right thigh, reaching the right arm up and back. Twisted low lunge, right hand comes down to the inside of the left foot, lift the right knee up as you reach the left fingertips up towards the sky. Finding your wild thing, gently step your left foot behind your right. Lower your hips down to a hover for a moment, and then press through the heel, press through the palm to lift the hips up. One more inhale here. As you exhale, plant your left hand, move through your flow. Remembering you can skip the push-ups altogether and just meet in downward facing dog. Sending the hips up to the sky. One more big inhale. And a big exhale. Moving through that one more time, one breath per movement. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, hop, step, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold. Inhale, one-legged mountain, bring the left leg up with you, arms go to the sky. Exhale, right away, kick that left heel forward. 2 more, inhale, bend into the knee. Exhale, kick the heel forward. Inhale, bend into the knee, draw it up. Exhale, kick the heel forward, hold. Dekasana airplane, extend the left leg behind you, arms sweep back. Rotate that left hip down right away. Peel open, half moon, right hand down, left arm reaches up to the sky. Rotate the left hip open, reach up through the top fingertips. Fierce side lunge, release the left leg to the back of the space. Lunge into the left thigh as you reach the arms out wide. Sweep it forward to your crescent moon, release the left knee down, arms reach up to the sky. And exhale, exalt your warrior, releasing the right hand behind you, left arm reaches up. Twisted low lunge, left hand down, right arm reaches, lift the left knee up. And find your wild thing, right foot steps behind the left, lower the hips to a hover, and press them up to the sky and reach. Listen for the change here, one more inhale. As you exhale, big step forward with the right foot all the way to the front of your mat, finding a low lunge. Left foot meets your right forward fold. Bring the feet about hip width distance apart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, sink into the hips, reach the arms straight in front of you. Pull the shoulder blades together, sink the weight back into the heels and hug the belly in. Start to shift the weight into the toes, so lift the heels up. All while sinking into the hips and drawing the shoulders back. Hold right here for 3, 2, and 1. Forward fold, let that go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, move through your flow. Meeting in downward facing dog when you are ready. Moving through all that one more time on the other side. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, hop, step, or float to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, one-legged mountain, right leg lifts, arms go up towards the sky. Exhale, kick the right heel forward. 2 more, inhale, bend into the knee, draw the knee up towards the chest. Exhale, kick the heel forward. 1 more, inhale, draw the knee in. Exhale, kick the heel forward and hold. Dekasana airplane, sweep the right leg behind you, arms sweep back. Rotate that right hip down, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Half moon, left arm comes down, right arm reaches up to the sky. Rotate the right hip open, you're stepping on the back wall with the right foot. Release to your fierce side lunge, right foot releases to the back of your space. Lunge into the right thigh and reach the arms out wide. Finding your crescent moon, release the right knee down. Arms sweep up towards the sky. As you exhale, exalt. Left hand down, right arm reaches up and back. Twisted lunge, release the right hand down, lift the left knee up, right knee up, left arm reaches up towards the sky. Find your wild thing, left foot steps behind your right, lower your hips down to a hover, and then press them up to the sky as you reach forward. Big transition here, left foot steps all the way to the top of your space, low lunge. Right foot meets your left, forward fold, feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, sink the hips low, and reach the arms straight out in front of you. Pull the shoulder blades together, hug the belly in, sink the weight back into the heels. Now shift the weight forward into the balls of the feet, lift the heels high, coming up high onto the toes, sink 1 inch lower, pull the shoulders back, hold for 3, forward fold into 1, release, forward fold, let that go. Take a big inhale, halfway lift, and then open mouth, exhale, fold. 1 more inhale, and exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, plant your palms and go ahead and move through a chaturanga flow, meeting in downward facing dog. Now I know you have loved doing the wild things throughout our class, so I'm just gonna give you a little bit more of those here. We're gonna shift forward to a high plank, stacking shoulders right over the wrists. Bring your hips down in line with your shoulders, is what I'm trying to say, I don't know. We're gonna move some alternating wild things from side to side. Step your right foot behind your left, lower your hips down to a hover, reach for the back of your space, and then lift your hips high, reaching for the front of the rim. Come back through your high plank, right hand down, right over to the right side, left foot steps behind the right, lower your hips down to a hover, press the hips high, reach for the front of your space. Come back through center, find your high plank, right foot steps behind your left, lower your hips down to a hover. Inhale, lift the hips high, hold right here, see if you can reach for the floor behind you. And then big step forward with the right foot, finding that low lunge. Take an inhale here, and then open up to a wide leg fold towards the left side of your space. Just hang down heavy towards your mat, letting all of that go. Big inhales in, and exhales folding. Shifting the weight forward into the balls of the feet. You can bend your knees here slightly so that you can tilt the tailbone high and release the upper body down. 1 more breath here. Then planting your palms, tabletop the spine, take an inhale. As you exhale, turn towards the front of your mat. You can just step back to downward facing dog, or you can move through a chaturanga flow if that feels good. Moving into the other side, inhale, shift forward to that high plank, stacking all your joints, engaging your core, pressing the earth away. Starting over towards the right, step the left foot behind the right, bring the hips down to a hover, and then press through the earth, reach the left hand forward. Come back through center, high plank. Over towards the left, right foot behind, lower the hips down, press the hips high and reach. And come back through center. One more time over towards the right. Left foot behind, hips come down to a hover. Lift the hips up, reach, pause, and hold right here. Maybe reaching for the floor behind you one day. And then coming back through center, stepping that left foot all the way to the front of your mat. Wide leg fold towards the right side of your space. Let that go. You can grab our opposite elbows if you want to take a shoulder rinse here. Maybe you want to twist from side to side. Just a few moments here to do whatever is feeling good in your body. Maybe you have an inversion in your practice, being mindful of things around you if you are practicing at home, making sure there's no objects that you can fall on and you feel nice and comfortable upside down. Taking one last round of breath here, take a big inhale and fold on your exhale. Releasing your hands down to the mat, inhale, tabletop the spine. As you exhale, turn towards the front of your space, move through a flow or step back to downward facing dog. Once you get to your down dog, just release your knees down to the mat, out nice and wide, moving into a quick child's pose. Just letting go of whatever just happened at the beginning of our class, preparing ourselves to move through our last flow. Remembering what brought you to your mat today, whatever intention you set for your practice. Coming back to your breath, slowing it down. Big inhales, expanding the rib cage, broadening the back of the heart up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, sinking into your space. And slowly start to shift yourself forward, plant your palms, curl the toes, send the hips up and back to your downward facing dog. Moving through our last flow of class. Inhale, lift and lengthen the right leg high. As you exhale, step it through low lunge. Releasing the left knee down to the mat, untuck the toes, coming back to that crescent moon, reaching the arms up towards the sky. Releasing the right forearm back down to the thigh. Inhale, rotate that left shoulder open towards the sky. And exhale, rotate it back down towards the right knee, drawing the shoulders back all at the same time. Inhale, rotate open. And exhale, rotate down. Last one, inhale, rotate open. See if you can use the leverage of the right forearm to really rotate that chest open towards the left side of your space. Maybe you start to reach the left arm towards the back of your mat. Come back around, rotating that left shoulder up and over towards the right, just finding that last little stretch. And then come back through center, arms up and overhead. Take an inhale, sink into the legs. And then find your half split, send the hips back, fold over your right thigh. Start to bend into the right knee, take an inhale. As you exhale, forward fold, left foot meets your right. This time bringing your feet hip width distance apart, just like we did the entire class. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to your chair pose, so sink your hips low and reach the arms long in front of you. Start to shift the weight into the toes. Hold right here. Start to slowly lower down to your mat. If you have your block in the way, maybe move it. Releasing the knees down to your space. Take an inhale, lift the hips, arms go overhead, untuck the toes. As you exhale, release the hips down to your mat. Right hand behind you, half camel sweep, send the hips high, reach the left arm up and back. And release through center. Up and over towards the left. And release through center. Last time over towards the right, we're gonna pause right here. Staying right here in this half camel sweep. If you want more, start to rotate the left shoulder open towards the sky to square off the chest to the ceiling. Maybe you sweep that left arm all the way up and around, reaching for your left heel, pressing the hips forward, creating that capital letter D shape, releasing the head back. Short sips of air right here, keep breathing. If you moved into that full camel, starting to sweep the left arm up and over back to that half camel shape. And then releasing the hips down to the mat. Take an inhale, lift the hips high, tuck the toes under. As you exhale, forward fold, send the hips up, folding over your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, move through your chaturanga flow, or just step back to downward facing dog. Moving through our last flow together, inhale, lift and lengthen the left leg high, and exhale, step it through low lunge. Release the right knee down to the mat, untuck the toes, rise on up to your crescent moon, reach the arms high. Releasing the left forearm to the thigh, rotate the right shoulder open towards the ceiling. And exhale, rotate it down towards the left knee. Inhale, open up. And exhale, rotate down. Inhale, open up, pause right here. Maybe using that leverage of the left arm to twist a little bit deeper, maybe reaching the right arm for the back of your room. Bring that right arm up and over, rotating the opposite direction, reach. And come back through center, arms up and overhead. Take an inhale. And exhale, half split, send the hips back, fold over the left thigh. Bend into the left leg, step the right foot forward, feet hip width distance apart. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, unfold. Inhale to that chair pose, sink the hips low, arms reach out in front of you, pull the shoulder blades back. Hug the belly in, start to lift up onto the toes. Slowly lowering down to your mat. Knees go down to your space. Inhale, hips go high, release the toes. And then release the hips down to the mat. Half camel sweep starting over towards the left. Left hand behind you, press the hips forward, reach the right arm back. And then release through center. One time over towards the right. And release through center. Last time over towards the left, pausing right here for a few rounds of breath. Stay right here, or start to deepen into this posture, rotating the right shoulder open towards the sky, reaching the right arm long behind you, or maybe continuing that sweep all the way around, reaching for the right heel. Press the hips forward as you drop the head back. Keep breathing. Tiny sips of air here. Full camels, coming back to that half camel, sweeping the right arm up and over, take an inhale, and releasing the hips down to the mat, just staying right here, letting that go. If you want to take a little tiny cat-cow movements, maybe tilting the tailbone back, and then rounding in the spine, tuck the chin. And then just extending the legs in front of you, however you need to get there. Finding a seated forward fold, just counterbalancing all of that opening in the front side body. So take that extra love out from underneath you, tilting the tailbone back. Take an inhale, lengthen up. And as you exhale, just fold down over your thighs. Your feet can be wherever it feels comfortable. Together, hip width distance. Maybe you like that wide straddle stretch. Just releasing the entire back. See if you can relax the chin, letting the whole head just dangle down. Letting gravity slowly pull you down as you take big inhales and find space. And releasing on your exhales. And then one vertebrae at a time, slowly rounding back up to a seat, stacking shoulders over your hips. Reaching your arms long in front of you, bringing your feet about hip width distance apart if it's not already there, hugging the belly up and in. Start to reach the chest back, slowly lowering everything down to a hover. See if you can keep the legs glued to the mat, flex the toes back towards your nose, hug the belly in, pause right there in that sticky spot where you want to collapse, hold and squeeze, draw the heart up towards the ceiling, and then gently release the chest all the way down to the mat, hug the knees in towards your chest. You can rock from side to side, massaging the low back. Maybe draw some circles clockwise, counterclockwise. Moving into a few rounds of bridge or wheel. So just like we did at the beginning of class, you can take that variation of bridge, releasing the soles of the feet to the mat, ankles right underneath the knees, arms down by your side. We'll all move through one round of bridge together. Take an inhale, press through the heels and lift the hips up towards the sky. Walk the shoulders underneath you to broaden the chest up. Maybe you interlace the hands underneath the low back again and find that shoulder rinse. This time in this bridge, see if you can draw attention to the glutes. Are the glutes wanting to do all the work? See if you can relax the glutes, maybe even poke them a little bit and say, hey, it's okay, the quads got this. Squeeze the quads, lift the hips up 1 inch higher. And then exhale, slowly round down 1 vertebrae at a time. Releasing the low back down, finding Supta Baddha Konasana just like we began class. Soles of the feet touch, knees go out wide. Maybe find some movement if that feels good, rocking from side to side or just settling in through center. Start to assist the knees back up towards the ceiling, planting the soles of the feet to the mat. Taking a round of bridge or wheel here. We have 2 more rounds, so deciding whatever is working for you today. For bridges, hands down by your side again, feet underneath your knees. For wheels, you're gonna flip your palms, fingertips towards your shoulders, sending the elbows up towards the ceiling, squeezing the elbows in towards your midline. Walk the heels in 1 inch closer. Everyone take an inhale, lift the hips up. For wheels, you're going to press into your palms and send your chest up towards the sky. If you are in wheel, think about pressing your chest towards the back of the room, maybe walking onto the toes, walking the feet a little bit closer to your hands. Everyone hold here for 3. Press up a little bit higher, 2. And 1, slowly rounding down. If you're coming out of wheel, tucking your chin in first, relaxing 1 vertebrae at a time, finding your Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet touch, knees out nice and wide, letting the arms land wherever it feels comfortable. And then without even thinking about it, moving into our last round of bridge or wheel. If you want to try any other variation here, maybe extending 1 leg up towards the ceiling. So finding your feet placement, your hand placements, take an inhale, lift the hips up towards the sky, wheels press into the palms and send your chest up towards the ceiling. Holding right here. Maybe you want to walk onto the toes, finding a little bit more height than the hips, walking the toes a little bit closer to the shoulders. If you want to extend 1 leg up towards the ceiling, maybe bringing the left foot towards the center of your space and extending the right leg high. If you want to switch it out, right leg down, left leg goes up. And release. Everyone take 1 more inhale, lift. And exhale, slowly round down 1 vertebrae, 1 step at a time. Bringing your knees into your chest. Grabbing for whatever is accessible. Shins, knees. Maybe you want to let the knees fall out towards the armpits, finding that nice pinching in the hip flexor area. Taking 1 last breath together, maybe rounding into a tiny little ball, bringing your forehead up to meet your knees. Squeeze everything in here. 1 big inhale, squeeze. And then exhale, releasing to your final Shavasana. Legs and arms go out long, completely surrendering into your space. Relaxing all the way from your toes. Maybe wiggle your toes a couple of times. Squeeze the quads, point and flex in the ankles. And then letting the lower body go. Maybe flexing the abs, squeezing the hands in, creating a fist, and then opening them up a couple of times, shrugging the shoulders up towards the ears, and then relaxing everything down into your space, relaxing in between the brow, letting the tongue gently rest across the top of your mouth. Taking 1 final last cleansing breath together, take a big inhale in, fill up the chest, the lungs, and then open mouth, exhale. Thank you all so much for joining me for our Vinyasa class. Hopefully your spine is feeling nice and lubricated and healthy. I look forward to seeing you all again. Namaste.